mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. On the island, we do it island style.
Hey, aloha, welcome back, Big Island. You're watching Rise Above Hawaii, which is a 30-minute talk story on health. And I define health as everything and anything under the sun. And we are very happy today to talk about an issue that most people, most groups don't really talk about. And so I wanted to feature a program here in Hilo called Second Chance. And I love the title because it really gives the title and the program its full essence of what it's all about. Giving people who are formerly incarcerated a second chance. And so I'd like our panelists to introduce yourself, and we'll start off with Renette.
Hi, my name is Renette Marino. Everyone calls me Ray. I'm the mentor coordinator for the Second Chance program at the Hawaii Workforce Economic Development, Ohana.
Oh, okay.
I'm Les Estrella. I'm also the program manager for the Second Chance Act, which is a grant that we got for Hawaii Island Workforce and Economic Development, Ohana.
Oh, so that's how the Second Chance came out of a grant?
It came out of a grant. It's actually a name of a program with a federally funded program.
Oh, great. And if you know the last name, Estrella, so cousin to Joey Estrella.
Joey, yeah.
And you must play baseball too.
We play on the same team.
Softball. Okay, Rosie, Hey, Rosie, do you know Les Estrella, softball? Okay, yes, he's nodding. All right.
And I'm Kawi Alexander, case coordinator for Hope Services Second Chance Mentorship Program.
Fantastic. So I want to, we just can do like a talk story back and forth, but let me start with Les. How long have you been in this field working with formerly incarcerated individuals?
We actually have been, this field actually, when we talk about formerly incarcerated individuals, we're talking about a really big intersection of the community. So when it talks about homelessness, mentally ill, substance abuse, domestic violence, employment, training, jobs, all of those things intersect reentry. So reentry is a really broad area. I've been doing this, working with this populations for about 10 years now.
Oh, so that's another term, reentry. So when I hear folks say, I belong to a reentry program, they're talking about formerly incarcerated individuals reentering back into the community.
Correct.
Which is a difficult thing to do, I would suspect.
Oh, there's lots of barriers. They're facing all the barriers that everybody else has in the community, as well as their criminal past.
Yeah. And Renette, we talked a little bit about the double whammy with some of our individuals who were formerly incarcerated. Because do you think there's stigma?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're fighting a stigma out there. I have, in my previous employment with Forward March, I helped formerly incarcerated adults with employment.
Yeah.
And I see them at the schools.
Yeah.
And they are trying to keep that past, hidden. And I feel for them because I know the barriers that they're facing in the community.
Yeah.
Because they have children, their aunties, uncles, grandparents.
Yeah, and we was talking off screen. I asked them, so what is the continuum of somebody who's been incarcerated? Is it like, you lock up one day for, ticket violation, all the way to life in prison, and let's say that's all. One incarcerated is basically you are formerly incarcerated. So.
Correct.
So that stigma, do you see that stigma too a little bit in the community?
Oh yeah, that's definitely, and that's what creates the barriers for the previously incarcerated, for employment, for housing due to their criminal background.
Yeah.
And that's why we have Second Chance, the mentorship program, to come and we've done some community events. The first project was the Lanakila painting project. And we had the mentors get involved with that so that they can give back to the community.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good sized segment of our population, people who are incarcerated. I know it's a good segment of the Hawaiian population. When me and my Hawaiian friends talk, that's an issue that comes up a lot. It's like, hey, and a lot of them not here too, so that's an issue too. And I think the state acknowledges that, and that's why we're trying to bring them back. But once they come back and they try to re-enter in the community, I just suspect that there's all kind of potential issues. Like, in addition to the stigma, like, what about family issues? Does family readily accept them back, or?
Kawi would be great at addressing that.
Now, a lot of them burnt a lot of bridges
Oh.
due to their past
Yeah.
poor choices.
Yeah.
So so they usually come out with nothing, with just the clothes that they went into prison with.
Wow.
And so when they come out, they start all over. I mean, from the identification, birth certificate, social security card, and even trying to find them some type of clothing voucher, just to start them. And families usually not a part
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, I can see that, because they may have offended their families, maybe have stolen from their families, or and maybe some of the families hurt that they made those poor choices, or they try to disconnect because there's pain, I think, with their trials. So I can see how families would want to disconnect. But I think some of the research suggests that one of the protective factors in keeping them in the community and engaged is family support. No? Or?
Yes, it very much is so. Family support is a big piece of reintegration.
Okay.
Without that, and of course us here culturally,
Yeah.
everything is ohana, everything is
true.
family.
Yeah.
So having that family support is real critical to somebody's success.
Yeah.
When we opened up a program a few years ago called Pona Viola, that's was back then with the Office for Social Ministry. It's now with Hope Services Hawaii. And back then, data that we had was from the Western data.
Oh.
And
okay.
and family reunification took a long time. That's the only thing we had. But we found out that culturally here, families, even though they burnt all their bridges and they were real resistant to, I don't like to speak to you no more.
Yeah.
No call me, no talk to me.
Yeah.
You're not my family. As soon as you find out in about 3 months, 6 months that they're doing well, family's back in the picture again.
We forgive.
So we forgive a lot
I
faster.
love local people. We forgive fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our heart's soft. Come
Yeah.
soft quick.
So that's a big advantage that we have here.
I think so. I like that. Yeah. So, Ray, what would you add to that? You found that to be true? That once there's some sort of amends, that the families are more receptive to, I guess, accepting their loved one back into the family?
I would encourage all those who are reentering into society, don't give up.
Yeah.
Try to reconnect with your family, because I think some of them are saying, no, my bridges are already burned and
Yeah.
it'll never be repaired. They won't take me back.
Yeah.
They won't forgive me. It could be children, their own children. But like Les said, they are very, we are an ohana. And those feelings are close, and we do have soft hearts. So don't give up, and try to reconnect with
Yeah.
your family at all levels.
I like that. Is it safe to say to the viewers who may have somebody they know that has been incarcerated, family member, cousin, uncle, whatever, that we shouldn't give up to, that we shouldn't give up in our ability to want to connect with them and reconnect?
Great point, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
They need you.
Yeah.
And they might act like they don't need you,
Yeah.
but they need you.
Yeah, yeah. We had Gordon Kuneva, who was a part of our show, and he talked about being incarcerated, and because I think there's a perception out there that people who are in prison, that somehow they created a heinous crime, and that's the, but a lot of them are actually like drug related, misguided choices, and then very like if they can get that drug problem kind of, get a handle on that the choices become better. So, and that was his life story, and I think that's is that many? Is that just, what is the fraction of the prison population that is more like drug related and not, heinous crimes kind of?
Most is drug related.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they must have a drug component added to the reintegration, or like
Well, in the program that I'm in, that I work for, is the Ponaha Viola community, and that's now under Hope Services. So what we do is we refer out to
okay.
the outpatient programs that they have here on this island,
Okay.
which is, we only have, what, 3, 4?
Yeah, yeah.
About 4.
So you guys strongly encourage them if they have, say, alcohol issues or, drug issues, that they go to their meetings or whatever support groups that they have?
Yeah, so the reentry program that we have currently with Hope Services, we do random UAs, random breathalyzer testing, because it's a 24/7 program. So there's a curfew, they
Yeah.
attend required classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. One of the challenges that I remember Gordon saying is that his family readily kind of accepted him back with open arms, but then he said that was one challenge too, because he get his old friends,
Yeah, that's a big piece.
So how do you, is there a part of the program that I guess teaches these individuals, students, if you will, how to resist the pressures that got them in prison in the first place?
In the Punahou Viola program, they have the cognitive classes, which they offer on Tuesdays, and that's like life skills to help them reintegrate back into the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I think there's a lot of skills that they might need, no? One is reintegration, how to reconnect with the community, how to look for a job, how to get that confidence for, say, I'm a worthy individual, which probably I think that's a lot of work that they probably, because their self-esteem may have been impacted, being in there. But yet again, there's also that ability to not go down that same path.
Well, it's complex.
Yeah.
It's complex issues surrounding it. But to make it a little maybe easier to explain, people, places, and things.
People, places, and things.
And the old people, the old places, the old things that they did,
Yeah.
those are the types of activities that lead back to incarceration.
I see. The old places, the old people, and the old things. Okay, that's simple. I like that.
Yeah, there's a really long assessment tool that's used to kind of determine, the difference between a high risk and low risk.
Oh, okay.
So let's say if somebody has a job and stable for a while, they have a place to live. They have pro-social activities like they go to church or they go belong to a community group.
Or they play softball.
Or they play softball, or they're doing things to stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Those types of things help them to stay out. And the whole focus of the program is to help people to stay out.
Wow.
Recidivism.
Yeah. Which is a fancy word for relapse. But so there's a cliche, kind of a thing I remember now that you mentioned that about keeping busy. They say that the devil plays with idle minds. So if you're stagnant, nothing to do, you're bored, then you just create mischief, I think, after a while. That's what my kids do, so that's why I keep them busy.
Good point.
Yeah. When you think about the program, and you said it earlier, for people who are incarcerated, no give up, right? Because there's people out there such as you guys, second chance, who want to offer them that second chance. Sometimes third chance, fourth chance even.
Absolutely. And I'm a firm believer in that, in third chances and fourth chances.
Yeah.
What's great about the Second Chance program is we ask for volunteers from our community to become mentors.
Wow.
To those who are preparing to re-enter into society.
Okay.
And so while they're still incarcerated at Halinani here, they're matched with a mentor. So a male inmate at Halinani would be matched with a male mentor.
Okay.
And a female inmate would be matched with a female mentor. And I am humbled by the great people that I'm able to work with who have volunteered their time.
So this is no pay action?
No pay, not at all.
Wow.
To be a mentor for a one-year commitment.
Wow.
And to help those who are still incarcerated, and now we have those who are extended on extended furloughs and on parole, and we see the progress and we see the increase in success with having a mentor.
Wow, I can see that.
And it's great.
Yeah.
I'm privileged to be able to work with these great people here in our community.
And so now that I'm just thinking, for the viewers who want to be a mentor,
Call me. Call me 959-6200.
959-6200. Because, we have a lot of kupuna, kind of kupuna age that they get all that wisdom, that acquired
Absolutely.
experience.
And they are great.
Yeah.
They are great
Yeah.
mentors.
Yeah. Would you second that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm so blessed to actually observe the volunteers
Yeah.
that come out as mentors
Yeah.
and show that kind of dedication and commitment. They had Second Chance had their first support meeting, and to see them take off of lunch and actually say, oh, I'm on my lunch break, but just to, attend and participate, with the support groups so that they can give feedback and
Yeah.
get feedback
Yeah.
from one another.
Yeah.
I was really impressed.
Yeah.
Really impressed.
Hey, that's critical because I was working with juvenile offenders in my previous employment, and the recidivism, the relapse back into jail for them, in this case was boys' home, was like 75%. So it's really high. So it's like statistically they're against all odds. So it's really important for viewers to know that, family to know that when they re-enter into the community, they need you guys. And for volunteers, you wondering how to give back, this is a great opportunity. If you had a past life where choices was kind of this way, because I think we all had that a little bit,
Yes.
and you found your way, then you could be a good mentor, I think, in that regard. So this is great. I'm really happy. Now, how does a person who's incarcerated become eligible for you guys' program?
Great question.
Anybody?
So it's referrals.
Oh.
We had referrals through Halinani,
Oh,
through
okay.
parole.
And Halinani is what again? That's where is that one?
That's the furlough program.
That's the furlough program.
Yeah.
Is it a place?
That's the jail.
Oh, that's the
Halinani
jail.
jail.
What is the one by Wainui? That's just cell block only.
Oh,
That's the main.
That's the main.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all connected.
They're all under the Hawaii Community Correctional Center.
Oh, okay. What is the one going out to Puna on the right side?
That's Halinani.
That's
That's
all.
That's the public safety. Yeah, it's
Oh.
under public safety.
Okay. Gotta get audit. Now, is there one in Kona?
No.
That's the only one. What about Sokolani closed down?
Kalani closed.
So all we get is Halinani now.
Halinani
Is the-
and
yeah, that's-
Wainui.
Wainui.
And the Wainui- Oh, okay. Oh, got it. Okay, so you get referrals from those folks, and they self-select. They look at the image and say, "Hey, you would be good for Second Chance," or "You wouldn't be good." Like how do you do?
Basically, it was just a sign up. We did an introduction and orientation. We brought in the team to introduce the Second Chance program, and it's a volunteer.
Oh, so they gotta
basis.
be willing too, then, yeah. Yeah, they
It's
gotta
all
be-
based upon volunteers.
Okay, so they gotta be at that place where they're ready,
Right.
to want to engage in the program.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, that's offering something. Yeah, I like that.
But most of the inmates,
Yeah.
a lot of them sign up because anything to get out.
Yeah.
But I got to see the difference, the changes.
Yeah.
As our program continued, then you could see the commitment, especially when we made the match. As soon as we made the match, and everybody starts showing up for the support groups and stuff, then there was a difference. And most of the mentees that are now matched and met several times, they expressed, their gratitude they
That's
had.
great. That's great.
Meeting with their mentors, the trust level that has developed. So there's a connection.
That's
And,
amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. I just love these programs, you folks. About a year ago, I was on a panel with Warden Patterson. I think that's his name, from Oahu Women's
Yes.
Facility, and they have some real great culturally tailored programs for women. And he was saying how on the panel how you cannot treat women's facilities and men's the same because women get different needs. Could you speak towards that? Because it's not just a man issue, this reintegration.
No, of course not. Well, I can speak towards the mentoring program that we have here.
Okay.
We have both men and women. And statistically, there are more men incarcerated than women. However, the women's rate has grown tremendously back, if you look just back 15, 20 years ago, there were just a few. And now they're overcrowded too.
Wow.
So, given the difficulties just to re-enter the community and the different needs from men and women,
Yeah.
different types of programs is very helpful. But we found that with the mentoring program, it's helpful for both. So we match the men and the women and the women.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, he said that his program it's kind of a pushing the envelope a little bit in changing how policies around incarceration and how they treat the inmates and what, because there's a philosophical debate, I think, right now on whether or not prisons actually work. So what you think?
Well, I'm not going to get into the political part about that, but I would say, I would agree with you. It is about policy.
Okay.
I know that they have right now the Justice Reinvestment Initiative from the governor's office that had did a study, and they are now moving towards enacting laws that reflect evidence-based best practices. And what I mean by that is, they gather data and see which is the best way to provide services for those reentering the community. And they're going to revise a lot of their policies.
Oh.
So they're revisiting what works and what doesn't work.
Okay.
And now they have evidence-based data will show what does work and what doesn't work.
Right.
And they're going to put the money into what works.
I like that.
That's a plan anyway.
That makes sense to me.
It does
On
make
paper, hey, let's do it. But to
So
implement,
it's happening
yeah.
right now.
Okay. And is it safe to say that the what works part of that plan would include a cultural component?
Very much so. I think there's some things that are in discussion right now to reopen Kulani and to have a cultural base reentry.
Oh, from the kind of cultural-based
Cultural-based prison. Yeah.
reentry prison program,
Yes.
if you will. Oh, because we've been doing this. Hawaiians have been incarcerated for years, and
And
the
they-
statistics not going down. So
No,
something's
they-
not working.
They have the largest amount.
Yeah.
The segment is the highest with Hawaiians, part Hawaiians.
That's interesting. At the education level, there's some research that suggests that there is some discrimination on suspensions and being a person of color, and this is from research from the United States, the continent, with African Americans. But I would suspect that given the stereotypes of our local culture towards Hawaiians, maybe that they might. I wonder what the research shows, because what they found is the more you suspend a child from school, kick them out, you just opening the doors for them to become incarcerated. At the end of the day, so the prevention action in all of this, which you guys are tied up already in the implementation of the reentry, but can we speak towards prevention? I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well,
Because they don't just end up in jail, right? I mean, things happen in their life, protective factors, risk factors. I would think a big risk factor is dropping out of high school, not having that education.
yeah, having all the supports in place from the beginning. Actually, reentry takes place for the time that you actually get processed for incarceration.
Oh, right
so
there.
that is called reentry
That's
from
great.
that point on already.
That's
That's the
good.
proper way of doing it.
That's great.
But taking it back a step further into prevention, stopping that whole wheel from spinning
Yeah,
is where everything should be focused on. But we still have to deal with
you still got it, yeah.
who is in, who's coming out, who's
Yeah.
going back in again.
Yeah, because that's a population that's growing.
So we're all members of the Hawaii Island Going Home Consortium. This is about 60 agencies, individuals, groups, concerned citizens that meet once a month since 2004. We meet at Workforce Development from 11 to 12 o'clock on the second Tuesday every month. Back in 2004, then Mayor Harry Kim called together a task force to address unemployment, and they were looking at underserved groups and using them to develop the workforce. And it's ironic because back then, had plenty of jobs and a little bit
That's right.
little bit people to find
Yeah.
to work. So they were looked at the underutilized segment,
Okay,
which was like youth and the elderly,
okay,
also the formerly incarcerated.
okay.
So at that point in time, the task force came together, and it proved to be more than just employment piece.
Oh, I see.
And so that's when the Going Home is formed. And that same group, part of that same group now, if you look at the differences that we have and the difficulties with employment, that underutilized group that helped to bring about a change when we needed workers in the workforce are now the very ones that are shut out again.
Yeah, you see.
So, that
Well, what's up with that? How come? Is what?
Well, that's how the Going Home Consortium got started.
Okay.
And we have many different committees
Yeah.
with that. The Hawaii Island Workforce and Economic Development, Ohana, they're a nonprofit entity that heads the group itself.
Okay.
But the group itself consists of all the community members, different agencies, public safety is there, the courts are there.
Good partnership sound like.
Great partnerships. We are leading the state in this. We have the most comprehensive, we have a strategic plan, we have the most comprehensive group that's been doing this for a long time. And it's really about developing a comprehensive reentry system.
That's great. That's great.
So I invite everyone to come and join us on the second Tuesday of every month at Workforce Development at classroom, it's conference room A.
That's great.
11.
So there's a lot of people that want to partner, I think, because they see this as an issue. And I think it'll be a growing issue if we don't keep advocating. Seems like we gotta keep advocating, yeah, for folks on the margins. And I'm a big advocate for this show. I think is a big advocate for people on the margins. My job, I'm the director of the Office of Health Equity. My job is to focus on those people who, because of whatever social circumstances, ethnicity, where they live, somehow their voice is not on equal plane with mainstream. And I think people who are formerly incarcerated are also pushed to the margins and are marginalized in that same way. And so we need folks like you guys, Second Chance, and you guys who have compassion and who are willing to volunteer to step up and help us. This is our cousins, like Renette said, it's uncles, aunties, right? It's our people. So I'm really thrilled about you folks' program.
You mentioned earlier about those coming back and about they're incarcerated for various and different crimes.
Yeah.
Over 90% will come back in the next couple of years. Everyone that's incarcerated now, over 90% will come back.
Wow.
They're coming home.
They're coming
and that's
home,
why we have
whether
this,
we like it or not.
That's why we have this Going Home Consortium. It's actually Going Home is a name given from their perspective.
Oh.
I'm going home.
I'm going home.
Yeah, not they're coming home.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're trying to see it from their eyes.
Okay.
And we have prisons on the mainland that, of course, we send them to, and Governor Abercrombie said that he's going to bring everybody back.
Yeah.
And being away, culturally, being distant from
Yeah,
family,
it's
is really very, very difficult.
Yeah.
And so we're just adding another component to that. So
That's
we are bringing everyone home, but they're coming into the community.
Yeah.
So when you come home, now what?
Yeah, I know.
And that's why we have this kind of consortium.
That's good. I mean, we need that. And we hope that funding continues for that, because that's really important. And what about you? What is yours? What is your hope for the people you work with?
Mine would be that they can live a life that's different
Yeah.
compared to the life that they've set up in the past.
Yeah.
And to just reunite with family, like Ray said. But mostly it's changing your thinking, yeah? And that's what, it's part of, that's what the program teaches too. And all the life skills is here, change your thinking. And from there, it's beginning, get away from the criminal activity.
Yeah.
And all the drug deals and all that lifestyle that just leads to destruction.
Yeah. You guys hear that? So old people, old places or things, if they never change and they're still old, find new people, new places, new things. Renette, what you said earlier about having compassion and opening our hearts and giving formerly incarcerated individuals that second chance, third chance, fourth chance is important. And also for those who were formerly incarcerated, don't give up on yourself and give us as family members chance too, because we find that local people, we forgive fast.
On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side.